Welcome back to Comic Book Reviews by Two Brothers Comics. I'm Nick, and today we're going to do our new comic book day review for June 23rd. So this was a pretty awesome week this week. We had books like Something's Killing the Children, and of course the kickoff to Spawn's universe, but we'll talk about those in a minute. First, let's talk about a couple of the ones that I tried to get into, just really couldn't. First being Good Luck #1 from Boom, just couldn't get into it. I started with a couple pages, then ended up flipping through it. The artwork was okay. I don't think that was the book written necessarily for me. Next was Checkmate #1. I'm just not really digging a lot of stuff DC's doing right now. This whole infinite universe and continuity kind of all over the place. And, I'm just not enjoying a lot of this stuff right now. I really dug a lot of like the early rebirth stuff and the New 52. I liked a lot of that stuff, but just this, I don't know, not digging it. Are you guys enjoying any of the DC stuff? Nightwing's pretty good, but Gamma Flight #1 came out this week too, and I've not read the Al Ewing Hulk run, and I think I'm actually going to start that maybe this week and try to read all 45 issues or whatever it ends up being, so that I can be caught up by the time Donny Cates takes over, because I'm very intrigued by that to see what happens. So, but because I didn't read the Gamma Flight #1, I didn't exactly have a good understanding of what was happening, so I stopped and just didn't really want to continue. So not read the Immortal Hulk from Al Ewing. You may not really be interested in that either. Now, stuff I did read all the way through and did enjoy. We'll start with Web of Spider-Man #2. It's a story made for kids. Honestly, it's a funny little story about these young teams of engineers. They fought the Green Goblin all issue, and it was okay. It was a cool little Spider-Man read. Nothing great, nothing groundbreaking, but it'd be something that I think a 12, 13-year-old might enjoy. Now, the next one I read was The Joker Presents a Puzzle Box, issue #2. And this one we start to explore a little bit more about what happened before the Riddler shows up dead. This is a digital-only comic right now, and it's okay. The artwork's really good. It's certainly a riddle, a kind of a not really a detective-style story, but you're following along the storyline, and you can see that the Riddler's hunting for something, and at the very end there is a reveal of an item. Not really sure what it is specifically yet, but it's okay if you really enjoy the Joker stories and just want something to sit down and read and enjoy with no real meaning to anything. I guess it's not like this is going to be earth-shattering storytelling here, but it's a decent book to read. And then we have Spawn's Universe #1. This is, of course, kicking off the entire Spawn universe. There were a couple of different there was one main story and then a couple of different smaller ones there at the end, like Medieval Spawn, She-Spawn, things like that. I will say, if you've never read anything Spawn, this is probably not the best place to start. But I did earlier in the year start to read up on Spawn quite a bit, started from the beginning, and kind of went around to a couple different storylines to kind of, get a good, decent understanding. So I do have a pretty good idea of what's happening. And I think maybe a good place to start might be like issue 300. To kind of catch up on the current storyline, because it certainly is playing off of what's happening in that current Spawn run. Artwork, phenomenal. Todd McFarlane does a wonderful job in putting together these art teams and working on it and the writing and stuff like that. And the mini stories at the end about Medieval Spawn, She-Spawn, things like that. It got me excited for what we're going to see next. And of course, that's going to be King Spawn. So super exciting there, and I'm pumped up about it. I think it did what it was supposed to do, kind of bring you into it, and it was really funny to get to see Spawn and then Gunslinger Spawn interact and see how that happened. So all in all, good story, but not as good as the last one. Something's Killing the Children, issue #17, I believe it is at this point, from James Tynion IV. Man, this guy can write. The artwork is great, and you're getting much more of an origin from Erica Slaughter and the House of Slaughter and what she's about to have to go through. Super exciting, to be honest with you. I am very intrigued, and I'm kind of worried for Erica Slaughter at this point, so I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but man, it was the first book, and it was the last book I read, right? So I knew that was going to be the one I was most interested in. I had saved it till the end. It was the very last book, and it's what I call a page turn. I just kept going and going and going and going, and then it ended, and I was disappointed. So That's kind of maybe how I'll start rating my new comic book reviews. Was it a page turner or no? I think the Something's Killing Children issue number 17 was certainly a page turner, and nothing else really was this week. So that is certainly going to be the top pick this week. And guys, let me know what you think. What else did you read? I know there's a ton of stuff coming out from DC, and I'm just, these 1,000 different Batman stories, and yeah, it's just this infinite frontier, infinite multiverse, I'm just not, it's not my thing, I don't think. Tried it, just not digging it. Are you guys? But guys, you are the best part of Two Brothers Comics. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and as always, collect your way.